With vision, almost anything is possible. Everyone has a time in their life when they feel a little bit lost. And sometimes, it's because you actually achieved that big goal and then you wonder, now what? Or other times you've been working, you're doing your thing, and then you realize, how did I get here? And you've been living the life that was expected of you, not the life that you really wanted. Start your week great. Start your week with a coach. I'm your host, certified high performance coach, Sean Butner, and we're going to talk about something that'll help you advance in your life this week. So let's go. It's your culture, it's your family, it's your friends that have informed how you should be living, but it doesn't light you up inside. And in either case, you can feel anxious, restless, unfulfilled, like you're in a rut, going through the motions. And so how do you get back into feeling more confidence, more purpose, and more fulfillment? Well, what you need is a vision of what's important to you and the impact that you want to make. So when you know your values, when you know what you are going after, then it's really easy to make decisions. It's really easy to know what the next steps are. It's really easy to say no to distractions and to keep focus. So, when you're unsure about who you are and what is most important, that's when we get into those moments too where we tend to go with the flow and we end up with the job that we don't love or in the place that we don't like, or you might waste too much time on the wrong thing. So I'm Sean Butner. I'm a certified high performance coach again, and this is the second video in a 6-part video series that I'm rolling out during my Start Your Week with a Coach newsletter. We're going to be talking about clarity today. So it's super important then to get clear on who you are so you can figure out what you want, what those next steps are to live the life you know you should be. So now, we used to live in a world where, those cultural and community inputs were a little bit more impactful and a little bit more important. But as the internet's happened, the world's gotten bigger, we can compare ourselves to, the best minds, the best business folks, the best people in their fields, see how they live. We now have so much information out there, so many people to compare ourselves to, for good and bad, that we really need to have an internal compass, something that guides us forward, right? So how can we do that? As a certified high performance coach, and in my life, right? Because, I ended up taking my first job out of college, and it wasn't, I knew at the time after graduating, it wasn't the job that I really wanted to be doing. It was the job that was safe. It was the job that would hopefully take care of paying my student loans back. And what I found out is it barely did that. And I was miserable in the process because I had given up something, this idea of, working in tech in Silicon Valley, maybe starting a business, doing something kind of important instead of just being the code guy behind the desk, stressing out about everything, which is what ended up happening. So how can we, if you're in that type of situation where maybe you made some sacrifices and you didn't really think it through or didn't realize how impactful it would be, and you want to make a change, you want to step into living your life again, then I have 4 things for you to journal about, right? And in high performance, especially if you're what I call a high performance introvert, this is where we can excel, where we really think through our lives, what we want, and here's some guidance on that. And I also say, as we go through this too, this is something you should be doing at least a month, but hopefully every week. Like you have a time on Sunday to go through and really get down and into it, okay? So first thing is what we like to call the 3-word exercise in high performance. And this is taking the 3 words that would describe your best, your most successful self, and really connecting with those every day, right? And so what does that do for you? 1, it helps you live more authentically. There's a lot of people that say, I should live authentically in my life, or, that person's not authentic. Like when you see it online, you know it. But how do you actually live into your truth? That's a question I'll lead with this exercise, because that's what this 3-word exercise is hopefully going to help you with, right? When you think about your most successful, your most best self, best future self, what are the 3 words that would describe you? For me, it's present, it's optimistic, and it's creative, right? Every day, if I can be optimistic, if I can be present, if I can be creative, then I've lived a really good day. You do enough of those, you live a good week, you live a good year, you live a good life, right? And so I know that when I don't measure up to those every day, that those are the days where I feel off, where I don't feel like I had an impact, where I don't feel like I did my best work. And so that's the power of it, right? And let me tell you, it's taken me years and years of trying to figure it out. It's taken me other words that I've had, that I've really focused on for my growth, for me to show up in my business more, in my job more, in my relationships more. And so it's not something that's static. It's something that hopefully evolves over time. But it's also important that, 8 o'clock in the morning, every day, wherever I am, an alarm goes off on my phone that says present, optimistic, creative. And it reminds me, and I connect with it. I'm like, okay, this is the marching orders for the day. This is what I got to go do. And it changes everything. So what would your 3 words be, right? If your family member, like a spouse or a kid or your parents, were to say, these are 3 words I would use to describe you, what are those 3 words that you would be proud of, that you would hope, that set that ambition for you? It's maybe not where you are now, but would be the best of you. Like when you are on, when you're hugging puppies, kissing babies, that whole thing, when everyone is like, oh, that's an awesome person. What are those 3 words? Okay? So that's the first point. Second thing to reflect on is, what every day or every week makes you the most happiest, right? Because sometimes that vision for our future and thinking through what is possible for us starts with, what do we enjoy doing? Like, what are we naturally drawn to? And how can we explore that more? And I'm, someone that over the course of my life has tried a bunch of different things. Like maybe I want to cook and I liked cooking. Maybe I liked or wanted to try out ziplining. Didn't really care for that much. So it could be activities. It could be things you like to do. Like, I started my career thinking I was going to do software till I died, right? And then through doing that, I found coaching. And that's why I'm here right now, is I fell in love with that. I really had a passion for it. I was drawn to it. My heart was like, yes, you need to do this every day. And so I built a business around it. And anyone can do that particular thing with coaching, but you can do that with anything. Technology was an interest and I was passionate about it, but then I found something that was a bigger joy, right? And that's what I hope for everyone, and I hope for you. So what makes you the most happiest? And how could you maybe add more of that into your life? Whether that's a hobby, whether you're doing the work that you love, or spending time with particular relationships or family. Again, what makes you happiest? So this is something I would journal on every week. Third thing is, what's the most important thing to me right now, right? So you might say that spending time with my spouse makes me the happiest. But what's really important for me right now is to get in the best health that I can be in order to be around that spouse for the most amount of time, right? So, you're focusing on your health, and so I'm going to be running a marathon, and that means there's going to be a lot of times where I'll be running and not with that relationship, and that's going to stink, but I'm committed to my health, and that's what's most important. It can really help you, see that, maybe you're like, what's really most important to me is my work, and health isn't important. And I've been stressing out about trying to train for this dang marathon, but it's not the top of the list. So maybe I should, find a different way, or let it go, or do something about that so it's not stressing me out. And I think people really respond to that particular question on what is most important to me right now, and what maybe do I need to deprioritize. It could be a really powerful question. And then ultimately thinking and journaling about what this week inspired me to serve greater and with more excellence. So what really lit you up? What really mattered this week? Is it that you had to, your work saves people's lives because you're a doctor, and so that is inspiring, and that causes you to, put in the extra effort to double check your notes, double check everything, because people's lives matter. Or maybe it's you want to be the best parent possible, and so when you're tired and you're home and the kid wants to play, that you're like, okay, I need to change my energy. I need to change how I'm thinking about this so I can be present here. And that can mean everything towards that goal of wanting to be the best parent. And so as you go through these questions, you're starting to get what you're connected with. You're starting to get what excites you. You're starting to get what's necessary for you to perform at a higher level. And that's the whole reason for trying to do these types of clarity building exercises and getting into that rhythm again. Like I said, like every week, every Sunday is when I would do this type of thing where I'm really reflecting, like, did I live into my 3 words? What made me the happiest this week? What is most important to me right now? And then what inspires me to serve with greater excellence and service? Those questions can change everything. So I hope you're thinking about how in my life can I use these questions to build this clarity habit, to really connect with it. This is something that I do all the time with my coaching clients. We focus on clarity, and as a high-performing introvert or someone that is a little bit more reserved maybe in an organizational relationship, but you have so much to give, so much value to add, so much great things to contribute. This is everything, right? Being very clear, understanding why you're doing things. In my experience in coaching folks that are more introverted, really can change the whole game for someone, where it's the difference between not really wanting to do something or not really wanting to go and socialize or not really wanting to expend energy to be out there, and acting with passion, acting with courage, acting with finding a new source of energy to serve when you really need to. So that's what I'm hoping for you guys. Hope you enjoyed this. If you're interested, I also have a free video posted below in the blog here, the 6 secrets of highly performing introverts. So it's more habits to go through at a little bit of a higher level. But you can also, on that page, apply for a 1-hour strategy session. If you're like, hey, I like these questions, I need to get more clarity in my life and I'm struggling with it. This is my way of getting some one-on-one time with you over an hour and really digging into all these different questions and more. So I hope you take me up on that. Check the link below in the blog here. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit the link in the blog, and I'll see you guys next week. Please take care. We'll be talking about how to find and create the energy you need to fuel your vision, because with vision, it's possible.